Hello, everybody. My name is John Corelli. This is Average Guy Opinions, episode 21. I'm going to talk about my dad, and this might take a couple of episodes as well. There's a lot to unpack here, literally and figuratively. For example, I'll go literally first. I just got back. It reminds me of an old joke. Remember the old joke? I just flew back from Pittsburgh, and man, are my arms tired. Well, I'll do a little bent on that joke and say, I just got back from my father's house, and man, is my will to live tired. I was there let's see, about 3 hours, which doesn't sound like a lot, but my cat's being an asshole, but that's what he does. So I get there, and he's in bad shape. My dad has lung cancer, and unfortunately, he is waiting to get the COVID vaccination before he decides to get his before he undergoes radiation, which is understandable. He's been smoking for 60 years. He's he's for all intents and purposes done. He's 74. And unfortunately, his mind is also starting to go. Well, here's what we've been doing. Talked about unpacking, right? He lived in Carson City, Nevada for, gosh, I want to say about 6, 8 years, like late 90s into the 2000s. And apparently, when he was there, I mean, he was always a gun owner, but he got ready for the apocalypse while he was in Nevada, which a lot of northern Nevada people probably do. He has a couple thousand rounds of ammunition, which I know really isn't a lot. I get it. If you're practicing and you're preparing for Armageddon, a couple thousand rounds of ammunition probably isn't a lot. He has a few guns. I think, honestly, I don't even think it's that crazy. It's like a shotgun, 2 or 3 handguns, and he's got a lot of 38, like 1,000 rounds of 38 special ammunition. Here's where the problem is. He's looking to sell this stuff. I don't know if he can legally sell the guns, but legally, apparently, you can sell the bullets. And so we're categorizing these bullets, and we did it last week. And now, because he lost the piece of paper that he was writing on, and he's such a control freak that he won't let me do it, we had to do it again this week. And he is he's on oxygen because his lungs are shot, but he's also smoking. So he's that guy. Yeah, he's the guy you see in front of the hospital and go, what the fuck is that guy doing? He's a nicotine addict, and unfortunately, has destroyed his lungs and his life, and he also needs the oxygen to survive. Okay, love the man as much as I can, as much as he has allowed me to. But so let's get back to the ammunition. So we got a lot of ammunition where he's got boxes of it, boxes and boxes, and I'm going through it, and he's such a control freak. Like, I'm like, hey, you have 950 rounds of 38 special ammunition. You have this animal. You have, stop it, or I'm going to throw you out the window. I know you're doing it on purpose, you jerk. He's a little pissed with me because I was away all day at my father's house. He really does. He gets mad. I mean, he's like a dog. Instead of tearing apart the house, he just meows at me for like an hour and acts like a little asshole. But, it is what it is. Sorry, hate that saying. Try not to say it. Anyway, back to what I was talking about. But so a normal person, when they categorize something, would say, okay, I got 9 boxes, but they have 50 each. That's 450, right? And then I got another 3 boxes, but that's they have 100 each. So there's 300. So there's 750 total bullets, right? Not my father. No, he's like, how many boxes? And I go, well, there's let's see, I forgot my count, but what I said, 7 plus 3. I got 10 boxes, but Dad, they're different amounts. I don't care. I just want the box count. All right, fine. Here you go. You got 10 total boxes of 38 special ammunition. And then we go back and he double counts, and he's like, so we got 500 rounds, right? Because we got 10 boxes. They're not. I said, Dad, they're not 50 each. I told you this when we did this. Why don't you just go in the room and watch The Rifleman or fucking Bonanza or whatever old Western you want to watch. Go to your AMC Classics. Go in there and just let me count the fucking bullets. I could do this in 30 minutes if you let me. Instead, it's a 2 hour ordeal. And like I said, now it's a 4 hour ordeal because now we've done it last week and this week. I'm a good son. That's just, yeah. And here's the part. So we're halfway into this video, right? And so I've bitched. I bitched a lot about a little. We've, if it's not obvious, my dad and I did not have a great relationship, but it could have been worse. But here's the problem I have right now. I imagine these years, his late 70s, well, almost late 70s, mid 70s, my mid 50s. And I know I've mentioned this in another video, but he has over 500 albums, classic albums, a ton of jazz, some amazing early rock and roll. And that's pretty much it. I think it's mostly jazz. And I pictured his waning years would be me and him and a turntable and vinyl and just spending a few hours together each weekend and just listening to that, right? And him, because he's amazing. Like last week, I had to take him for a ride to the bank before we tried counting ammunition. And I take him to the bank, and I had a jazz station on because he has influenced me. I mean, I know we don't have a great relationship, but the man has influenced me. I have a love for jazz because of this man. And he, music starts like it's like name that tune. A few beats in, and he's like, "Oh yeah, that's Art Blakey," and I'm like, "Holy shit!" Now a lot of people can do that because Art Blakey is pretty famous, but it's still impressive to me. I mean, he knew it. He doesn't even listen to music hardly anymore. As soon as we're in, like 5 beats in, and he's like, "Yeah, that's Art Blakey," and I think that might be so and so on the trumpet, and blah blah. Holy shit! Now those were moments I wanted to share, just sitting, maybe drinking coffee or a beer or sharing a meal and just being able to relax with my father. And unfortunately, it doesn't look like that's going to happen. Maybe this is partially on maybe this is my fault for saying, hey, here's what I wanted out of you and for us in our relationship, and it hasn't happened. And it's making me sad, and I think it should make you sad, and you don't have a lot of time left. Would you rather spend it counting and selling bullets, or would you rather maybe listen to some Art Blakey? I don't know, but and that's where his control problem is really a problem. It's wasting precious hours that he doesn't have a lot of. You know, like I said, we did it for for me it was 3 hours because I spent time driving up there. It's about half an hour there, half an hour back. So it's 3 hours of my day, which, you know, I'm just trying to be a good son. But then we did it again today, another 3 hours. You know, I get back and I kind of got I call it a 60-second rant, and I just go to my youngest, Logan, and I go, hey, guess what happened at Grandpa's today? And he's like, ah, Jesus, Dad. I'm like, I'm sorry, I need 60 seconds. I just bitch. And then I go, okay, I'm done. He's like, all right, happy to be that for you, Dad. Hey, sorry, could be a lot worse, trust me. Oh, man. So where do we move from here, huh? Where do we go with this father-son relationship? He's trying to get into Little Sisters of the Poor, but everything's on hold because of COVID. He really needs to be in an assisted living facility, actually probably nursing home. I mean, he's very thin. He's about 165 pounds. He's, you know, his lungs are shot. His mind is starting to go. And it's just, you know, it's just a sad situation. But I hope he gets into Little Sisters of the Poor because that's a lot closer to where I live. So, I mean, that's like 10 minutes away instead of the 30 minutes away that he is now. So that would be great. You know, I hope we can do that. Also might take a little pressure off my stepmother, who's a very nice woman and has dealt with him and his bullshit for over 20 years. How do you like my cat's ass, everybody? I don't like you anymore. I don't like you anymore. Of course, I love him. You know, but that my stepmother has been such a trooper. He yells at her constantly. I don't think they've ever been in love. I call it a marriage made for tax purposes. that's what this was. They were roommates for a while back, God, in the 80s or 90s. And then it made financial sense for them just to keep living together. My dad hasn't worked since the early 90s, as far as I know. He's an enigma to me. I don't know how he dodges the tax man. I don't know how he gets the benefits he gets. He told me he won some sort of settlement when he lived in Nevada, but he doesn't disclose it. I'm I'm set to inherit a decent amount of money when he dies. But it's just the man's a mystery, an enigma, and my 10 minutes are up. So you guys got to listen to a 10-minute rant. So thank you. Hopefully I'll do another version of this where maybe we count something else. I don't know. Maybe albums, maybe records, maybe I don't know what else there is to count. Um, Talk to you guys soon. Thank you for listening, and see you next time. Bye.